So why are pre-save links important? Hey everyone, welcome to Deck 1. I'm Sue. I'm a music marketing manager for a music distribution company here in Berlin. And in this video today, I'm talking about pre-save links for streaming platforms. A pre-save link is a link to digital streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, or Deezer. And you can share that link with your fans so they can make sure that your track is automatically going to be saved in their personal library on release day. Pre-save links are super common in the music industry these days. Pretty much all bigger labels use them, bigger artists use them. And I personally think there are a lot of reasons why you as an independent artist should use them too. Why are those links so important? How can you create a link like that for your own release for free? And what else do you need to do to make that strategy work for you? That is exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video today. If you have a new release coming out and you announce it to your audience, let's say, for example, on Instagram, you don't want to just inform people that there's something new coming. You also want to increase the chances that those people are actually listening to your track on release date. A pre-save link is a great tool for that. You can add it to your bio or the description of your artist profile or even to your Linktree page, whatever you're using, and ask people in your posts and stories to hit the link in the bio and pre-save your track so they don't miss it on release date. Make sure you make it as easy as possible for your audience to actually find that link and also really ask them to pre-save your track. People who are not musicians don't necessarily know about the value of pre-save link or of a pre-save or of music promotion in general, so you gotta make sure they exactly know what to do and where to do it. And if they do click the link, chances are very high they're actually pre-saving your track just because it's easy and it doesn't hurt. So why are pre-saves important? If people pre-save your track with your pre-save link, that track is automatically going to be added to their library on release date. So that basically just tells Spotify, and I'm just going to say Spotify in this case, but this obviously also applies to every other platform that offers pre-save links, mainly Deezer and Apple Music, I guess. Okay, cool. It's just past midnight and this track has already been saved to an X amount of libraries. It seems like it's kind of popular. Let's see how those people like it and then let's show it to a couple more people. There's obviously way more to the streaming algorithms than just pre-saves. People shouldn't just pre-save your link, they also need to listen to it. So the algorithm learns which kind of audience is interacting well with your song so they know who else they want to show it to in the future. What's important here is, does the person who saves your track also listen to it and maybe skip the song or listen to it over and over again, but also the other way around? Do people who actually listen to your track for the very first time save it right after, or how do they interact with your song? There are a lot of little signals like that, and the streaming platform algorithms are going to put all those little puzzle pieces together into a bigger picture, and then those algorithms in those platforms are going to present your track to a wider audience, and if it keeps performing well, this can turn into a snowball effect. Spotify for Artists just released their latest fan study, and they shared that 53% of releases actually peak only 7 days after release. That is also due to the learning curve and learning experience that the algorithm has to go through to understand who the right audience for your music is. So that also means you have to keep promoting your track even after release date. My main point about everything I just said is it doesn't stop with a pre-save. The pre-save is just one part of your tactics in promoting your music. So how do you create a pre-save link for free? Very important question, and the core question of this video, obviously. Step number 1 is you have to upload your music to Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, and wherever else you want to with the help of a digital music distributor. As most of you have noticed probably already, you can't just upload your music to Spotify or Deezer or wherever else, because there is a digital music distributor who is basically the quality assurance instance in between you and the shops. They obviously need to make sure that the quality of the releases uploaded through their platforms are good enough to make it into those streaming and download platforms. If you want to know more about how that works, I do have a video on that already, and I'm going to make sure to link it in the description below. Your distributor is going to be able to upload your tracks to all those platforms, even if the release date isn't there yet. It is basically pre-delivered to Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, and they can already see it in their catalog even though the track isn't live yet. An important thing to mention here is that your pre-save link should be ready to be shared with your audience at least 2 weeks before the release date, which also means that you will have to upload your music at least 1 month before the release date with your music distributor, depending on how long it takes them to deliver your music to the platforms, but also if you've already claimed your profiles on those platforms. So the sooner the better is definitely the rule here. You want to give people the chance to actually get excited about your new upcoming release, and also you want to have as many people as possible pre-save that link, so there's not really a point in just sharing that pre-save link 1 day before release date. You'll also need to share that pre-save link a couple of times because not all of your audience on your social platforms is going to see all of your posts, and people usually need to be reminded a couple of times before they take action. Once you uploaded your track with your music distributor and they pre-delivered your track to those shops, you will have to ask your distributor for the shop URIs, or more specifically for the track URIs in those specific shops, so you are able to create that pre-save link. At this point, you should also be able to see your new track in your Spotify for Artists account under Upcoming, and from there you can actually pitch the track or one track from your release to the Spotify playlist editors, the official ones, and this is such an easy and simple process that there's literally no excuse to not do it. Some distributors already offer a pre-save link or a pre-save feature through their own platform or dashboard, but I kind of feel I haven't found any music distributor who actually offers a pre-save link to all the platforms who offer that feature, so I personally recommend you create your own. There are 2 platforms out there that allow you to create a pre-save link for free. That is Soundplate Clicks on one hand, and on the other hand, that is a Smart URL. I obviously linked both of them in the description below. With both platforms, you can create a pre-save link for free. They both work pretty much the same, actually. It's super simple and only takes a few minutes to actually create that pre-save link. I would say that Soundplate Clicks is a bit more easy to use and a bit more simple maybe, especially in the beginning, but Smart URL gives you way more options when it comes to customizing your pre-save page. So just check them both out and see what works best for you. In our example here, I want to show you Soundplate just as an example, but again, they both work pretty similar. First of all, you obviously have to create an account with Soundplate, and then you just go on your dashboard here and click on Smart Links. Here, just hit the plus to add a new Smart Link. If your song isn't out yet, you won't be able to use this feature up here that automatically pulls your data from the platforms into this form. But of course, you want to add the release name, the release title, your release author, which is basically your artist name, and your release date. That is obviously a date in the future, and then you will be able also to create the pre-save link as it says down here. Also add some custom meta title and meta description. This just makes sure that when somebody posts this link on social media, there's not any weird random default text popping up in the post. Here is where you can actually click the links to the shops you want to add your pre-save link to. That is Spotify, Apple Music, and Deezer at the moment. Also here you can add a pre-save custom text for when people actually saved your release. I just added a thank you note here, but obviously if there's anything else you would like to share with your fans and your audience, then this is the place to do it. In this section, you will enter the links to the specific platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, and Deezer in this case, and those are the links your music distributor has to provide you. Sometimes they will actually send you the Spotify URI and not this Spotify link here. They're pretty much the same. The important part is this one here at the end, that is the track ID. This is the unique ID that your track has. Make sure you add that link as the open.spotify.com track and then your ID link here. Otherwise, the platform is not going to find the right release. Then you obviously do the same for Deezer and Apple Music, and with Soundplate there's another pretty neat feature down here. If you go to your profile section on your Soundplate profile, you'll be able to actually add the details to your artist profile on Spotify and Deezer as well, which also means that people who pre-save your new track are automatically going to be asked to also follow your artist profile on those 2 platforms. And as I've mentioned before, For every follower on Spotify means one more release radar playlist on release date or release week. So that is a really cool feature, and we'll definitely make sure to add those details in your Soundplate account. Here you have a few additional things you want to opt in or opt out. Those are just details and totally up to you, obviously, if you want to do it or not. I, for example, personally like collecting emails on the Smart Link. People can enter their email address and you'll be able to also send them emails later if there's any new release upcoming or anything else to share with them. Here you can also choose a color for your release page. Some of these are only in the Pro version, but honestly, this is kind of like not the most important probably. If you stick to the dark version with like the light theme, I think you're going to be fine. Here you also can add a preview source. So if you, for example, uploaded your track to SoundCloud as a pre-listen snippet to share with radio stations or whoever, you can also add that here so people actually can listen into that snippet before they save your song. Here you can add your artwork and then you just hit save and your link is ready to be shared with the world. Just copy and paste that link, share it with your audience, and then it just like gives them your personal information. The track is going to be added to your library on July 31st, 2021, and your personal note is here as well. All right, now to the final but very important question. What do you do with your pre-save link after you generated it? Of course, you got to share your link before your release comes out. I mean, that is pretty clear. That should technically happen a couple of weeks before release date though. I recommend that whenever you announce the official release date of your release, you already share that pre-save link with your audience. Because whenever you share something about your new music, there should always be some sort of option for your audience to take action, to save your song, to listen to your song, or anything like that. Otherwise, you might just lose their attention. Really don't hesitate to talk about your new release a bunch of times before it comes out on your social media accounts. You're playing a gig, for example, maybe share a video about it and also mention on the side that all of you are very excited for the new release to come out and that, in the bio, there's actually a link for you guys to save the track if you haven't already. As I always say, take people on your personal journey. Keep it natural, but also keep reminding them because they follow you for that personal story. They're excited as much as you are. In the beginning, some of you might actually think, isn't this too much? Like I kind of like keep talking about the same topic over and over again. But on social media, there is not really any too much. Social media doesn't know too much. If you created a banner for your release, new release coming out July 31st, save it now. That obviously all should go up at the same time as you post your new pre-save link. I know some artists do some sort of giveaway as an incentive for pre-saves or pre-orders of their new release. In my opinion, that only makes sense when you already have a bit of a dedicated following, as only invested fans are probably going to make the effort to participate in that giveaway. If you want to do it, and it is a great tool and a great idea, then try coming up with something special though. One of my favorite latest examples about that is Hachiko, an artist from Australia. She released her album I'll Probably Be Asleep end of last year and gave away vinyl records with hand-drawn sleeves to a bunch of people who pre-ordered her album in one of her favorite record stores. That is a super cool and personal idea in my opinion, and it also supports the local record stores in her area, so extra points for that, and in my opinion one of the best examples of a pre-order campaign that I have seen in a very long time. If you're just starting out, you're probably going to start with the basics, and I really recommend you just like also focus on those basics. Things like giveaways come later when you actually have a bit of an audience already. Building an audience takes time and patience, so yeah, just focus on that first. Sharing your pre-save link is definitely something you can do even as a beginner, and the same is also for PR. Definitely pitch your new track before release date to blogs, playlists, and radio stations out there. I have another video on how to promote your very first release if you want to check it out. And then once your release is out, keep reminding your fans about your release and actually tell them, hey, the release is out now. You already pre-saved it maybe. Now is the time to actually listen to it. On release date, you gotta go back to your social media accounts or any other platform where your followers are and remind them to go to the platforms, the streaming platforms, and listen to your new track. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, there are many factors that have a positive impact on the algorithms on the streaming platforms. The pre-save is just one little part of that. You want to turn all those pre-saves into actual streams on release date. So try to make as many of your followers listen to your new track from day one. But also beyond that, even after release date, keep sharing content, additional content like live sessions, behind the scenes material, and keep reminding people that the song is out and that they can go to their favorite platform and just listen to it there. And that was it about pre-save links. And if you have any experience with pre-save campaigns, please share it. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there who are also curious, and me as well. If you have questions as well, drop them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them, and I see you guys very, very soon.